First, the CPU, we have AMD Ryzen 5 4500, and for our motherboard a B450 chipset GIGABYTE B450 MDS3 HV2, pairing it with a Kingston Fury Beast 3200 MHz 16 gigs dual kit RAM, also a 1TB NVMe drive Kingston NV2. For our GPU, a GDDR6GB GTX 1650 OC 4 gigs card, and for our power supply, a 550 watts 80 plus bronze FSP HV PRO, and last, a tempered glass side panel DEEPCOOL Matrexx 40 micro ATX case. Let's do assembly. Release the retention arm of the CPU socket. On the top left corner of your CPU socket, check the triangle and match or align it with the triangle on the CPU. Insert the CPU and check the corners fit. Drop down the retention arm. Remove the CPU cooler bracket. Make sure the AMD logo of stock heatsink fan is facing up or on the left side corner for the clearance of a high-profile type RAM. Place the stock heatsink fan of the CPU with pre-applied thermal paste. Tighten the screw with a cross pattern to apply even force or pressure. Or manual for the RAM or DIMM proper order orientation. Usually the first one is DIMMs A1, slot 4, and the second is DIMMs B1, slot 2, from left to right order. Release the clip and check the notch DIMM slot and align it to the RAM, pushing down both ends or in the middle to automatically locks the RAM. Unscrew the 2280 slot, check the notch and slide the NMVe SSD with 30-degree angle to M.2 slot, then push it down and screw again. Attach the CPU heat sink fan connector to the CPU fan header, usually the top right side corner of the CPU. Attach the I/O shield panel first before you put the motherboard on the casing. Check the correct orientation of the motherboard in the case. Place the I/O shield and push outside with equal force to each corner. Ready to attach front panel connectors and screw.
Tell me now how you want.
Check the proper placing of the screw standoffs for micro ATX type motherboard, and if not, just relocate it correctly. Place the motherboard into the I/O shield and tighten all the screws. Don't apply too much force on the screw and just gently tighten all. case fan connector to the sys fan 1 header, usually lower left side corner of the CPU. Remove all the wire twist ties in the cables, and ready your screws for attaching PSU. Place the PSU on the bottom facing the fan downward and screwed it on the casing. Arrange the cables depending on your PC needs. Group the unnecessary cable together for the meantime and expose the needed ones like 24-pin ATX and 8-pin CPU connectors. I don't need an 8-pin PCIe connector because our GPU is very power efficient that no longer needs support from the PSU. Set the cables and connectors for the attachment. Attach the 8-pin CPU connector to the ATX 12V header and the 24 ATX pin connector to the right side of the motherboard. F-panel header is usually HDD, LED is 1 and 2 pin, reset switch is 3 and 4, power LED 6 and 7, and power switch is 8 and 9 pin from left to right order. Connects the USB 3.0 to the F-USB 3.0. Header, USB 2.0 to the F-USB 1 header and HD audio to the F-audio header. Check the alignment of the PCIe X16 slot on your motherboard to the backplate covers of the case. Bend the right side corner of the backplate facing the motherboard to prevent scratches from removing the PCI expansion slot backplate covers. Remove the back cover for a while and attach it later after finished installing the GPU. Unclip first the PCIe X16 slot and install the GPU by pressing toward the motherboard until it's automatically locked. Group the unnecessary cable that no longer needed and attach it with cable ties or wire ties. Don't do stiff or excessive cable management and tie them up gently and firmly to prevent connectors or headers damage. Zip ties are good, but Velcro straps are better. It's easy to remove and reattach again. Let's do installation. Boot up the PC for the first time. Check the hardware if properly detected by BIOS, and if not, try to reset them and boot up again. I'm not suggesting enabling the XMP profile at the beginning for the fastest and safest installation of the OS. You can press Ctrl-Alt-Delete to soft reset the PC, or simply by pressing the reset button, attach the USB drive to install Windows 11 OS. You can do boot priorities for the SSD on the BIOS, or just press the boot menu key F12 to quickly access the USB drive. You can check out my short videos here regarding creating bootable devices, bypassing system requirements or Microsoft accounts, and installation of Windows OS. The first thing to do is go for a Windows update and restart the PC. After a reboot, download the latest and stable drivers version of the motherboard and GPU from the manufacturer's site. Install the drivers of the motherboard and perform a clean install of the GPU driver, or use an application like Display Driver Uninstaller or DDU. Let's do some gaming.